All right. Welcome back, guys. We are moving on to the football section, and a lot has happened since our last time recording. Alan, start us off.
One of the biggest things that happened recently was the Matt Stafford and Jared Goff trade. Matt Stafford sent to the Lions. That guy, one of my favorite quarterbacks, gunslinger, probably possible Hall of Famer. And
Gunslinger.
yeah, and the guy just has too much talent, very underappreciated. And Jared Goff
Yeah, he
sent
has
to
a
the
really good X
Lions.
factor, right?
Jared Goff sent to the Lions with Dan Campbell, their new head coach, Mr. Guy that's going to bite your kneecaps and take your ankles as he rises back up, embodying Detroit. So I love that signing. And we just need to see if the Rams sign back the Lions sign back Kenny Galladay because Jared Goff is going to need some weapons. And honestly, I do think the Lions ended up winning the trade. They got a lot of draft capital and a 25-year-old quarterback with still potential. Noah, what do you think of this trade?
Um, stupid, stupid trade
For who?
by the Rams. By
Really?
the Rams. You didn't think that was gonna happen, did you?
Well, do you think
No, no,
it?
no. You need to
Wait,
listen to me,
do you think it'll be
Matthew.
worth it? Do you think it'll be worth it if the Rams make it further in the playoffs in the
No,
Dome?
no, it won't be worth it, and I'll tell you why right now. You see Matthew Stafford. Look at his hair, already receding. Okay, stop, don't laugh. But look, you see his hair's already receding. To get to my point, he's too old for this. He is gonna be great. He's gonna be elite for like 2 years. Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl in one of his first few years. I know. Thank you for your celebrations and faster. But Jared Goff made it to a Super Bowl like 2 years ago, right? And you're gonna trade him. And you're gonna trade him. He's so young. He has so much potential. He's a great. He didn't even have that bad of a season.
Well, Matt Stafford has
Matt Stafford hasn't proven anything. Let me
Did
be
the
okay.
straight.
team names
Okay.
pop up in the recording?
So Matt Stafford
No.
has some of the most impressive stats for having the team he's had. He's only had one
Wait.
good wide receiver in his career, like Calvin Johnson, obviously. And now he's and never had a he's never had a defense. So honestly, I think Matt Stafford is gonna. I think the Rams can probably even make it to Super Bowl now. They have Cam Akers in his second year. They have an insane wide receiver core, and they just yeah. Now Matt Stafford having the top defense in the NFL, or at least one of the top defenses, and a very good offense, but a very young coach. Matt Stafford, what 31? He still has a couple years left.
Couple years yet till he dies, bro.
He's
Um.
dude. Okay, Tom Brady's playing to like 43. Drew Brees playing to his 40s.
Okay,
So
you
he has
cannot
like
you
10
you
years
cannot
left.
compare Matthew Stafford to any of those guys. Because I'll tell you something.
Matthew
All right.
Stafford is a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and he's like
Mark my
literally trash.
words.
Has he even made the playoffs before?
Yes,
How many times?
one. He's in the fucking Lions. What do you want?
He made McCollum the guy who made the playoff one time, lost in the first round, a Hall of Famer.
So you call him Barry Sanders only made the playoffs once. Barry Sanders only made the playoffs once. He's in the Hall of
Barry
Fame.
Sanders is fast. This guy is old. There's a difference. Barry Sanders doesn't age. His name is Barry Allen. He's the fastest man alive. This
Okay.
is.
And what do you think of the
Fuck.
signing of Dan Campbell?
Bro, who cares? A coach? He's like, he just gets money for free. All he goes like, oh, go there. All right, there you go. He's getting free money.
I agree.
Nothing. No one
I agree.
cares.
I agree.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
That I just spoke so much facts. You already know.
The
It's
next
all in
thing
the
I
name,
wanted
man. It's all in
to
the
talk
name.
about was J.J. Watt, one of the greatest defensive players of all time.
He
And
is reuniting with DeAndre Hopkins in the
Cardinals?
Cardinals.
Really?
Cardinals.
There a lot of his potentials are with the going back with his brother to the Steelers.
If he does that, he's gonna become a correct boy. Do you realize that, Alan?
Fair. Okay. He's one of the most
What?
dominant defensive players of all time. For sure Hall of Famer.
You know what?
And there's also a good chance he goes to the Browns, people are saying. Or maybe his hometown, Green Bay.
He's too white to be in a Brown team. Wait, I just.
Okay. But that part. So I'm just gonna restart from where I was. So he might also go back to his hometown of Green Bay, which might be interesting. So my favorite spot for him would be the Cardinals or the Browns. Yeah, he would be going to the Steelers, but honestly, no one really likes the Steelers, and I don't want his career to be just like malnourished by that. So, and then the other thing, yeah, base, yeah.
Welcome to town, TJ. Or wait, JJ.
Could you turn off your camera really quick, Noah? You too, Alan. No? Alright, Alan. I guess it's just true.
Okay, moving on. Trevor Lawrence had his pro day. Very, very impressive. He was just throwing 65 yards off a bootleg perfectly.
Look at
He
that
just had an
man.
amazing day, but now has to get surgery with a 5 month recovery period, which that's gonna be
Wait, why
yeah.
is he getting the surgery, by the way, Alan? Can you inform
Uh,
us?
it was if I'm not, I want to get this right. It was something in his knee. I'm pretty sure, but I know it's a 5 month recovery period. He should be ready for training camp. No. What is your take on Trevor Lawrence?
Overrated. Ship him to China. Like,
Okay, no, actually.
okay, fine. I think
Oh,
Trevor
so
Lawrence
it's a labrum
is.
surgery, by
I
the way.
yeah okay. I think Trevor Lawrence is the most overrated recruit of all time. People are saying he's the best recruit of all time. You know this guy named Kyle. I don't know his middle name. It would have been really nice to
Pitts.
know. Kyle Trask. He's not even projected to be drafted, and he is better. He will always be better, and he will be the next Tom Brady. He will follow the ways
This
of
is
Aaron
coming.
Hernandez,
This
football
is oh,
wise.
okay. This
Football wise.
this is coming from a Gators fan. So we all know Trevor Lawrence is being compared to John Elway and Andrew Luck, some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But yes, Andrew Luck, I do include him there. When he was playing, he was looking like a Hall of Famer. Just obviously he retired because Jewish boy got hit. So
He's not even Jewish, is he? Wait, what? Okay, I think Andrew Luck is a Hall of Famer, and what's his name isn't. I think he's more of a Hall of Famer than
John
whatever that
Elway,
guy name is. Jonathan Elway? No, what?
John
John
Elway.
Elway? Matthew Stafford? No one?
Oh,
No
Matt
John
one?
Stafford.
No.
Elway on the Denver Broncos?
Yeah.
Crazy?
Okay.
Wow.
So the other thing I want to talk about is the draft coming up for the NFL.
Okay.
So, Noah, who
Why?
do you think? So we all know Trevor Lawrence is going number one overall.
Can you share your screen?
I am.
I see Trevor. Oh, okay. Um. Well,
This is the
can we
wrong
get a
one.
list? I'll tell you what my order is.
Yeah, yeah.
Tim Tebow. Wow, look at him. So inspirational, man. So inspirational. You know that guy. You know what his greatest accomplishment
Noah,
is?
actually,
What?
why are you talking about Tim Tebow? Why is there
All
music in the
all I
background?
see is Tim Tebow. You're not. Your screen is not working.
Okay,
All I see is Tim Tebow, and I hear music.
here we go. Yeah, Zook, turn off that music, please. Noah,
Turn it off. Turn it off.
Zook, turn it off.
Yo, show your screen like
Okay, here we go.
with
So
brain
number
cells.
one
There.
is going to be Trevor Lawrence to the Jaguars. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Number two, who do you have going number two?
I have
The
Justin
Jets.
Fields.
Justin Fields. Zach Wilson, 50.
No. No.
I have Zach
No.
Wilson. This
No.
so
No.
most people say
No.
Jamar
No.
Chase here
Just no.
to the
No. 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 No.
Dolphins. Most people say Jamar Chase. I
What is
actually
this
think
list? What is this list? Devonta Smith.
yeah, no, most people are rating Jamar Chase and Jalen Waddle.
Oh, stop.
Dude, what the fuck? Okay, so most people say Jamar Chase is gonna get drafted over Devontae Smith, even though Devontae Smith is one of the is a Heisman Trophy winner, first wide receiver, first non quarterback in a really really long time. So, but people are rating Jamar Chase because he has just more potential. Like he's a very similar to AJ Green and Julio Jones. But I prefer the Dolphins taking Devontae Smith here, even though he is small, he has no science. He's just more developed as a wide receiver. So
You
we'll see
know,
how that
I
goes.
also, you know, you know how the world works, and he was like in the Pro Bowl or something. I don't know. He played in like some like EA event, and you know what team he used in his Madden Ultimate Team? He used the Miami Dolphins. Why would Devonta Smith use the Miami Dolphins? Probably because he's gonna be a future Miami Dolphin. He loves the Dolphins. He's a Dolphin for lifer. Honestly, he is better than Jerry Rice already.
Okay. Then number 4, Falcons taking Justin Fields.
Okay, so I think Justin Fields and Zach Wilson switch.
Should be switched. I don't know. I like Zach Wilson a lot better. Justin Fields is an amazing player. Don't get me wrong, but Zach Wilson just has more potential, higher ceiling.
Zach Wilson, trash. Okay, whatever. Move on.
Okay. The Falcons. Do you think they would be good with a new quarterback? Definitely. They have Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley out there,
Nah,
and they just need a new quarterback to replace Matt Ryan.
you
Matt
know who
Ryan's
their new
not what he used
quarterback
to be.
should be? He's already on their team, but he's a backup. Kurt Benkert. That guy is really good. He should be the starter.
Bengals, Penny Swell. This I really like. Last very good tackle the Bengals drafted. Obviously, the best tackle of all time, Anthony Munoz. And
Yeah,
if
it's
they get
easy.
Penny Swell and he's anywhere near that level, they need to protect Joe Burrow after that injury he had. So I really like Penny Swell here. Then Eagles taking Devontae Smith.
Nah, they're taking Jamar Chase.
So I no, honestly, I think Devontae Smith to the Dolphins at 3, and here Jalen Waddle over Jamar Chase.
Wait,
Mm,
why is
no,
Devonte
come
Smith so
on.
low? That makes no sense. Why is he so
No,
low?
it's because there was only one receiver taken before him. The only two teams that need receivers are the Dolphins and the Eagles so far.
So
But
I like Jalen Waddle better for the Eagles, especially the guy like Zach not Zach. I'm stupid. Fuck.
nah, here. This is
Um
my train of thought though. Okay, so last year they took Jalen Rieger, right?
yeah, the
The,
speed outside.
he's
Yeah, you're
good,
right. The
right?
Chase, yeah, they need a big guy like Chase.
No,
Jamar Chase. Yeah,
but
you're
that's
right.
not that's not my only thought. Jalen Waddle is not as sure of a thing as Devonta Smith or Jamar Chase.
Yeah, but Jalen Waddle has much more potential.
He has more potential, but he's not as safe. And I think this time they should go for safe because they went with Rieger last time. He was not the person who they wanted him to be. They could have gotten Justin Jefferson. Look at Justin Jefferson, man. So inspirational. Next.
So the next pick is the Detroit Lions. They have picked them taking Jalen Waddle to help out Jared Goff. Honestly, they
Nah.
have Kenny Galladay if he's healthy the whole year, and they also have Marvin Jones if he's healthy and re-signed to the Lions. I honestly think they should go for a linebacker,
I think they should go for a
a guy like
safety.
Michael Parsons.
They should go for
They
another
need a
safety.
yeah safety would also very good. Safety's a they need Jeff Okuda's drafted. They need him to develop right now because they don't have a corner. They have Jamie Collins at linebacker right now.
Yeah, that
Obviously,
guy's
he's really
trash.
good.
Mm.
Okay. But they really need a big guy in the middle who can play. Michael Parsons, I think, would be a very good fit. I don't know 100% yet. Or so maybe a guy like Patrick Surtain the second, or yeah, it could be Patrick Surtain the second, or Cal Farley. Both of those guys very good. Then we have Carolina Panthers. I really like this. Trey Lance.
Mm-mm.
I let me tell you why I like this
Stick
pick.
with
Let me
Teddy.
tell let me tell you why I
Stick
like
with
this pick.
Teddy. Yeah,
Trey
so you go.
Lance. Trey Lance is just an amazing quarterback. The guy last year only threw like I think it's a single pick, and he's incredibly athletic. Very good quarterback. And they have Teddy Bridgewater right now, who they can keep in and just have him like a Patrick Mahomes situation. Just have Trey Lance right there, luring behind Teddy Bridgewater and put him in when they need to.
Yeah. All
Um,
right.
like
Well,
like for
honestly, maybe they should take the inspiration from the Dolphins and seeing how they did that with Tua and Fitzpatrick,
Fitzpatrick, yeah, or something more like
but
Mahomes and
that
Alex
didn't
Smith.
really work that well.
I feel like a Mahomes Alex Smith thing here.
Yeah. Well, come on,
And if
Mahomes,
Teddy
Alex
works out
Smith.
well, they have like if Teddy breaks out this year, they have almost like Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, a young guy, very prodigy next, um, and a really good quarterback. Like, look at this man, please. Like the guy's incredibly athletic for a quarterback.
Run.
He reminds me a lot of Cam Newton, actually. Like he runs people over.
Stop. Yo, my video got like turned off, and now we're literally went from getting advertisement money to no advertisement money. Good job, Daniel.
Dude, advertisement money for like a 3-person crew of 70 followers.
Um, okay, go to the next pick.
Like,
Let's do up to 10
yeah.
and I'm
So
done. All right.
I just really really like this guy.
Yeah, man, I can tell, man. Like, go date him,
So
dog.
yeah. Oh, so we have the Broncos getting Michael Parsons. I think they need to draft an offensive lineman. An offensive lineman
You know, they're
or
underrated right now.
or
I
like
don't think they go for O lineman. I think they do this. I like this a lot. That's my opinion.
okay, but I have another team. Okay, yeah, we'll just go with that, I guess. Dallas Cowboys, Cal Farley. I don't like this one. I want Patrick Surtain in there for
Eh,
second. You know
draft
why?
draft Kyle Pitts.
Cowboys need Patrick Surtain. Patrick Surtain fits perfectly in the Cowboys scheme. He's a very long guy. Cal Farley's more of a man coverage, just very, very fast. Cowboys run a zone nickel most of the time. So I like Patrick Surtain the second could be very, very good. Then Kyle Pitts, New York Giants. I like this. I really, really like this.
Yeah. Wait, what? They have Evan Ingram. How do you like this?
Because Kyle Pitts is not really a tight end. He's just a very, very big receiver. Like
Yeah, I
Shannon
know,
Sharp.
but like you know what people are saying? When he gets to this league, he is already most likely going to be already a top 5 tight end in the league. Think about
Definitely.
that.
He's just he is in my top three players in the draft, being
Me
honest.
too. Honestly, bro, if you watch his highlights this year in Florida,
And the guy's
that's
just
all
a
I can
beast.
say.
And I think he's gonna be very Shannon Sharp esque, in my opinion.
Yeah. But
Then I think
to be honest, wait, before I can get
Mhm.
before I really think he is going to be drafted by the Patriots.
I don't think Patriots are gonna have the draft pick for that. If drops the Patriots, I would love that.
I just don't think why do the Giants he's just not their answer. Like
Yep.
if anything, why don't they draft like a quarterback? Yeah, man,
They still
Money
love their
Jones,
Daniel
bro. Money
Jones. Fumble Jones.
Fumble Jones, exactly. Fumble Jones. Nah, bro.
Okay,
Like literally, or
so
get an O lineman. I
yeah.
don't see why that would
Next we
be.
got Patrick Surtain in San Francisco. I think Cal Farley and Patrick Surtain should be switched here. That's just my opinion. Then we have Christian Darson, which I really like the Chargers. Protect Justin Herbert. You just got your franchise quarterback. You just need to help him.
Yeah,
Minnesota Vikings, O line. I also
they'll
really, really
probably
like this.
draft. They draft. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. It's time to move on from Kirk.
You think so?
I think so, but
Yeah.
I
Well,
I
we'll
I
see.
I don't know who they would be able to get at
Exactly.
quarterback.
So they right. So I
But
think they should
I'm
just
just saying, like, what if what's the guy that you liked a lot? What if he falls to them? Trey Lance. Imagine Trey Lance
he's not
on
gonna
that
fall.
team. Could you imagine? They would be insane
Insane.
if he was
Yeah.
good.
Then we have Patriots with Jeremiah Owusu Kamara, which I don't really like this at all.
Bro, bro, what? That guy's name is crazy. He
I don't.
honestly is definitely like the greatest player in the draft. What, dude? Jeremiah. First of all, he's levitating to heaven already. He's gonna levitate them to a Super Bowl.
I
Second,
don't. I
I
think the
think Kyle Pitts is
Patriots
a
need
better
to
pick.
draft Mac Jones. Right here, Mac Jones. That's my
I
call.
think Kyle Pitts is a better quarterback. But sure.
Patriots. Patriots need to get Mac Jones in at number 15.
I feel like
Arizona at the end, if they get JJ Watt, and I don't think that's this pick is depending on if they get JJ Watt or not. If they don't get JJ Watt, they should definitely go for the defensive end. If they don't get JJ Watt, or if they do get JJ Watt, I think honestly, draft a running back. They have running backs, but they haven't really been playing amazing. Let's put it that way. What do you think? What do you think the Cardinals really need?
O line.
O line.
Yeah.
Okay. Vegas Raiders, D tackle. Yeah, not really much to say
Yeah.
here. Christian Barmore,
You know,
63 total tackles, 10 sacks. Very,
while
very
we're
good.
talking about the Raiders,
Hmm.
I think Marcus Mariota
Hmm.
should be traded, and I think he's gonna have his career revived, start somewhere and make them good again, and become a Pro Bowler
Pre-order for the Giants.
next year. Pro Bowler next year. Hot
Pre-order for the
take.
pre-order for the Giants, Noah. He said they need a quarterback.
Marcus Mariota to the Giants. Wait, wait. Okay, wait. Marcus Mariota went to the same college as Saquon Barkley, correct?
No.
I don't
No.
think so.
Saquon,
Okay.
no, definitely not.
Okay, Miami Dolphins, Jalon Phillips. I like this. They need their pass rush. At 18, I think they should really. Yeah, I'm kind of split on this. I think they should get the end or an O tackle. They should just draft two
Um,
O tackles straight at the bat. Get that O line 2-0.
what if they do that this draft and just
Just help Tua. But I think defensive end can also really well, especially Jalen Phillips. Very, very good defensive end. I really like him. He has a lot of potential. He's not very refined in his technique, but he's very fast and very big first step. He is gonna destroy tackles in the NFL mid-season. I don't think he's gonna start off doing like very well though. Then
bro?
we got Washington football team,
Honestly,
Mac Jones. I think Mac
it's
Jones
kind
is
of
going to
dope.
the Patriots.
Okay.
This is stupid. Mac Jones needs to go to the Patriots here. And
Wait,
I have
why
football
would they
team.
draft?
I don't think football team needs a quarterback. I think
They have Taylor Heineke.
I think what they need is just that's interesting. Maybe a linebacker.
No, come on, bro. They have what's his name?
You need a safety.
Or a cornerback.
Yeah, safety. They need a DB here. I'm not very familiar with the draft
No,
yet.
wait,
We're
what's
gonna do a
the?
further closer to a draft. We are gonna do a further review when we know the players a lot better. But I don't really know my DBs in the draft right now. But I think the Washington football team should take a DB in this position.
Yeah. Should
Chicago
we go through all
Bears.
of them?
Let's just go through these. Chicago Bears, Alaya
O
Vera
line.
Tucker.
Yeah, that's easy.
Not much to say here. They do need O line protect their quarterback, whoever it's going to be next year. Colts, Gregi
That's
Rasua,
good.
Yeah, the Colts do
Keep
need a
building their
defensive end.
defense.
That defense is monstrous. And yeah,
Mariota to the Colts.
Titans, O line. Yeah, just help out
Mariota
Derrick
to the
Henry.
Titans.
They
Wait,
need a guard.
wait. Mariota to the Titans.
Okay. The Titans do need an offensive guard. So if they can put him in at right guard or left guard, I think that'd be very good. Maybe center to help out Derrick Henry. The New York Jets trade with the Seahawks. Their pick from the Seahawks. They get Kadarius Toney. They do need their wide
Oh,
receivers.
this guy. I'll tell you a lot about this guy. Yo,
And if they use
this
drafting a court, since they're
this
also
guy
This guy.
is the next Tyreek Hill. Go to his highlights. No, he plays exactly the same. It is weird. It is weird. He plays. I thought it was Tyreek Hill, like in disguise. It might be Tyreek Hill. He
Steelers
might just
O
have two
tackle.
jobs.
Bro, I thought that's the guy
Can
that they
we?
found the dead body in,
No.
like
Okay.
his house.
So Tyreek. Now we have the Steelers drafting O tackle protect Big Ben. I think they should honestly go for a running back in free agency or get a running back here. Also, look at this guy's face. Just saying.
They should trade Juju for free.
I think yeah, it's in your free agent. So
I don't
Jacksonville
know, man.
Jaguars get a tackle. Yeah, that's about right. Cleveland Browns linebacker. This is really good. Just solidify that defense. I think Browns can be future Super Bowl contender next year, depending on how they draft and how they do their free agency.
Browns make it to the
Lions.
Super Bowl next year. I will literally break my monitor. I swear.
Wyatt Davis, Ohio. Again, just a very heavy offensive line draft this year. Help out Lamar Jackson and those rookie running backs they have.
You know who I think they should get?
Now, Saints getting
Kadarius
a
Toney.
corner. I don't know. Saints getting a corner here.
Yo,
I don't think
no,
that
wait,
the
hold on.
Saints
Why
need
did
to
you
get
skip my comment, bro? The Ravens need a receiver.
That's true. So I think they're gonna
Kadarius
get him in the
Toney.
second round.
Kadarius Toney. Sorry.
Okay. Uh, Daniel, why?
Yo, the boots. The
Okay, so New Orleans Saints get
Ooh,
Jace.
pro.
Do you think?
What am I
I don't
saying?
know. What do the Saints need? They have a very good overall team. They have already solidified a
Really,
quarterback.
they're gonna
A
go
corner.
literally 3 wins next season. You realize that, right? This is an
Yeah,
important
yeah, I
draft
know.
pick.
Yeah, but you think a corner is the right pick here? This
Dude,
is a hard one.
what are they gonna? No. This depend. We can't comment, bro. If they're releasing Alvin
Yeah,
Kamara, like, then they'll have to get a running back. If they're releasing
yeah.
Michael Thomas, they're gonna have to get a
Green Bay
receiver.
Packer linebacker. That's just yeah. They just need a linebacker. They can't stop the run.
Honestly, just
They
draft
no
just
no.
draft
They need a
another
linebacker.
quarterback. Draft another quarterback
Yeah.
after Jordan Love.
Uh. So Buffalo Bills. Travis Etienne. I like this one too.
Oh, yo.
That would be very good. Just pair him up with Josh Allen, make it a little bit easier on Josh Allen. He had 5,000 rushing yards, 70 touchdowns last year.
Wait, by the way, that's the first running back picked.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Also, why is he the
Kansas
first one
City
picked? No,
defensive
you
end.
know who goes before him?
Who? Najee.
Najee. Najee is Derrick Henry.
So you have Levi Ovuzuriki. Ovuzuriki. So Kansas City defensive
Nah,
end.
they need some.
Welcome to podcast 3 of Instinct Sports. I have Noah and Allen with me, and we're going to start off today with basketball. So we're 40% done with the season. We're seeing a lot of surprises, a lot of what we expected. But overall, the season is an exciting one. Not a lot like the last season where it was more like players standing out. This season, it's more about teams overall standing out. So what I've seen so far is obviously success in the West with the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Utah Jazz. And surprisingly, not a lot, not really talked about a lot, the Suns, which are pretty much the fourth seed and doing a really good job for themselves. In the East, however, it's a bit more of a mess with a lot more unexpected things happening. You have the 76ers doing what we expected them to do a year ago this year with Embiid and Simmons both popping off. And then you have obviously the Bucks.
Of course. Keep going, keep
You
going.
have the Bucks and you have the Bucks doing what they usually do, and you also have teams like the Knicks and the Heat who are surprising people. The Knicks by winning and the Heat by losing. So Noah, tell me what you think about the Miami Heat cold streak that we're facing right now.
Um, well, I mean, I don't fucking know. What the
I just have one thing to say. Get fucked, go Celtics.
oh, he just did so good. But like, I have no idea what to say. That's the problem. We didn't. Well, let me gather my thoughts.
You can edit Noah.
Yeah, here, just stop the recording, and we'll start from what your
I'm gonna
question.
pause it. I'm gonna pause it.
Well, I think that over time, I mean, it's been getting better, the cold streak. But with the COVID, like taking out half the team earlier in the season, and us coming back, or not us, the Heat coming back from the finals just so soon, and the season coming so soon. It was just like really tough on the players, and I think the team is still really good, and I still think they're gonna make the playoffs. But it's just gonna be a really challenging road, and I think they will pull through, probably become like a 7th seed by the end of the season.
See, to me, the Heat problem is so complicated because you go from a team that has all the same pieces they had last year when they made the finals, but they're not having success. There's definitely things wrong. You can see it with the turnovers, the 3-point defense. The Heat overall are just, they're messing up a lot. And a lot of people are attributing that to certain players like Duncan Robinson isn't the Duncan Robinson we had last season. Kelly Olynyk is just a tall piece of shit. And Kendrick Nunn, I don't know, he's just small. He doesn't do anything. Listen, Goran Dragic, he's been out. I don't think he's really been doing anything for us. Jimmy Butler has returned, but in clutch, he's not a clutch player. He's been throwing away a lot of games for us. Bam Adebayo, he's going to be a superstar. He's the only person that I believe in this team is doing things properly. Bam Adebayo, in my opinion, is a first-team all-defense, and in my opinion, going to be a defensive player of the year eventually. Maybe 1 or 2 years, he's going to be Defensive Player of the Year. But overall, the Heat's lack of success comes down to their inability to admit that things need to change. Because the Heat have such a long history of keeping things the same with Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra and the players they have right now and the system they have going that they haven't even changed it since the Wade era. Like, if you want things to go on with a new formation of basketball over time, if you want to compete against teams like Milwaukee, you want to compete against teams like the Celtics, you want to compete against, the big three teams in the East, you have to change things. Because we did that in the playoffs last year, but that was only one time. We're not showing consistency. We need to change things up. I really don't know how. It could be from trading players. It could be from firing Spoelstra and making a new head coach. It can be from anything, but we just can't be the same team we are now because it seems like we're making excuses with the whole COVID. Things need to change. But let's go on to the teams that are succeeding and things
Before you
shouldn't
move
change with
on,
them. So we're
How do
going to
you
talk
think-
about what?
how do you think Tyler Hero and Jimmy Butler are playing different from last season? Because last season, late in the season, we saw them playing amazing. What do you think is the big difference in what's happening?
Jimmy Butler. He's playing like how he did last regular season in both good and bad ways. He's still the good hustler who puts up some good mid-range shots, but he also is the guy who misses layups in the fourth quarter and is throwing the game for us. He did that last season and he's doing the season now. I don't really have a lot to say about Jimmy Butler. He's the captain of our team. I expect better of him, and I feel like he will give us the betterment. But I need to talk about Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero, other than Bam, is our young star. Tyler Hero is an exceptional player. He played amazing against the Celtics last year in the playoffs. And what I see from him this year is the same amount of confidence, but not
Lack of
enough minutes.
production.
I think it's just I don't understand why he's on the bench. He should not be on the bench. Put him in the starting lineup. At this point, our young stars are doing better than our starters. We need to let them take over. I think
And-
that's the system change we need.
Any players you think are going to do better later in the season? Maybe Kendrick Nunn or
I think who's gonna pick it up? To be honest,
I think Duncan Robinson.
yeah. If that's the guy I had to choose to pick up his game, it's gonna be Duncan. He seems like a hard worker. He went all the way from undrafted to the G League to the Heat starting roster. He's gonna be a guy who picks it back up for sure.
And one last thing, do you think last year, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but the Heat have one of the most dominant zone defenses, if not the most dominant? And how do you think that's changed from this year? Because this year they're getting scored on a lot more.
This year, well,
What
the
has
Heat
changed?
didn't take into consideration that everyone was watching them as they were the underdogs in the playoffs, and all the teams obviously watching them recognize how they play defense. Because in all honesty, that zone defense worked perfectly. But if you were looking from an outside perspective, you could read it immediately. You could see all the weak spots. When you have that bird's eye view of a fan, you can see everything that's happening on the floor that the players can't see.
So what do you think is the main thing they have to change? Do they have to trade or get a big defensive player that can some guy in the outside in the
Yeah.
box?
I
What do you
think we get Andre Drummond. He's
I
open.
agree.
We need to get Andre Drummond. We need to
Mm,
put Bam
okay,
at the
good job.
forward and Andre Drummond in the center. And I think our success is gonna
Okay, but what can they? What do you think they can give up for him?
trade Duncan. Trade Duncan, trade Olynyk, trade
Uh,
Nunn. Duncan is one of my favorite players, but for Drummond to help this team succeed,
the Heat kind of look stupid for not trading Hero and Duncan for James Harden.
That's gonna be
Oh,
one of the
talking
main
about James
things we
Harden.
regret.
Well, we still have to wait on Tyler Hero. He has a lot of potential, clearly.
We're
Mm.
So
talking about James
maybe
Harden.
in the
Let's
long
move
run.
on to the Nets.
Let's move on to the Nets. That's a good idea. I like that. The Nets.
So,
Both-
first question I want to ask you before you start: who do you think ended up winning the trade? Because since the trade, the Rockets obviously had a worse record, but put up impressive defensive numbers. While obviously now the Nets have probably one of the best teams we've seen in recent years, but also not. So, what do you think? Expectations? The Rockets going to pick it up,
Okay.
especially with all the draft capital they have, or
Indiana lost the trade and the Rockets lost the trade. but Cleveland and the Nets both won the trade. Why? Cleveland got that Jared Allen guy. That guy, I've been following him since 2018. He's a beast on the floor. He is like modern day Walmart version of Patrick Ewing. He's a great person in the paint. I just think he's one of the best defensive players I've ever seen in my lifetime. And he goes really underrated for that. And he's doing amazing things with Cleveland. Cleveland is, I'm pretty sure, in the playoff picture. If I am right, they're in the top 8. They're doing sensational for what we expected them to do. They have that.
Sexton's carrying.
Sexton is definitely carrying. It's bonkers.
Goat.
But the Nets. Okay, so we know about
Wonder
them
if he has
having-
sex a ton.
Thank you, Noah, for that one, bro.
Oh, okay, the Nets.
The Nets. They have the best offensive rating in the history, but also the worst defensive rating in history.
Yeah, that's what I was
So
saying.
it's so parallel with them. But you know what? I think offense wins games. To be honest, we're in it right now. The NBA is seeing a revolution where the mid-tier teams are all defensive source, but all the high-tier teams are at offensive source. So in my opinion, the Nets having Harden, listen, honestly, they've been experimenting for the past few days. They've been having Kyrie and Harden, only Harden and KD, only KD, only Kyrie. They've been experimenting with how different players maybe soloing certain. They have 3 franchise stars that they're just soloing and still winning the games. Last night when playing Phoenix, James Harden just hit a clutch shot to let them win. And it was just him. And KD and Kyrie were on the bench. Now, sure, it may have been for actual reasons like COVID and injuries, but let me tell you this. When they have only one guy out of 3 superstars, which people can argue is the worst of them, doing things like that, winning against the 4th seed in the West, who have Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and DeAndre Ayton. I mean, the Lakers are going to go to 7 in the finals. That's what I think is happening. Davis is injured right now, but I'm not worried about Davis injured. Davis has many injuries, and he's always been a guy to come back from. He's very hard sourced. He has tough skin. He's going to come back from this injury. He'll be back. LeBron, though. LeBron plays the Nets, I think, tonight.
LeBron to the Nets.
What? That'd be
No,
insane.
Can you check that?
Yeah, I'll check on that.
I think the Nets
Okay,
play the
but-
Lakers.
quick segment to the side. What about the Rockets? They got one of the best defenses, insane draft capital, and I think they're just missing an offensive guy to really pick it up. Some guy who can just start scoring because they're not doing bad right now. Like they're definitely not winning games, but they're not getting blown out. If I'm not wrong. So
The Houston Rockets are in a weird position.
Yeah.
They have the players to take them to the playoffs, but they also have the draft capital to try and
Rebuild.
tank.
It's
So
tomorrow.
okay. But what the Rockets need to decide. Do you want to be contenders now with John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, and Victor Oladipo? Or do you want to trade all those players and have one of the largest draft capitals in league history? And if I was the Rockets, if I am the Rockets, I would trade, to be honest. I would trade because
what do you think you'd get back for each player or an all?
okay, so there's so many teams in the league right now that believe they are contenders because this is a contender year. This is one of those years that you can have 10 teams who are contenders. That's what's happening right now. And that means those players like John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins, who are so versatile and such team players, are so high of value. So what I see can happen. DeMarcus Cousins, what team needs him? Well, I think a contender team that could use DeMarcus Cousins is the Nets. But the Nets don't have anything to trade him.
They don't
They're
have-
not going to get him. But you know who could get him?
The
Imagine-
Miami Heat.
No, but imagine this.
Why not?
Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, and DeMarcus Cousins.
So Aiden at the 4.
I think Marcus is more of a 4 player because he can
Bro,
stretch the floor.
isn't he like way taller than Aiden? Not way taller, but isn't he like
No,
3 inches
he got way
taller?
skinnier. I think he could play the 4.
Not about skinny, it's about all right. Well, I don't know.
It would be like the
I
same
don't know.
thing that the
Cousins is kind of
Lakers.
washed, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Okay.
And we're talking about contenders. So I'm gonna ask you two things. One, who are your top 3 contenders? 2, what are your predictions? And 3, an extra third question. Out of the teams that lost in the playoffs last year, who do you think is not going to make it to the playoffs, and who do you think is going to make a bigger advance in the playoffs?
Okay. My contenders right now are Lakers, the Nets. I will not say the Utah Jazz. And I'm going to say I'm not saying the Utah Jazz because the Utah Jazz are playing team-wise. There's never been a team-wise team that's won the championship. They've always had a star player. Maybe there was 1 or 2 Super Bowls where it was a team championship, but very rare. You always need a star player on a championship. They have Donovan Mitchell and Rudy, but like it's not happening with them. They're not going to get past LeBron. So my contenders are Nets, Lakers, Clippers, 76ers,
Celtics?
Golden State Warriors.
Warriors.
Celtics are still too young. Next year, I think they have like one of the highest probabilities of winning.
Warriors are not contenders,
We're
bro.
talking about the
I
Warriors.
think the
Real quick
Warriors.
sidetrack when we
I
back
think
to-
Curry's.
We'll be back on topic.
Curry's the best point guard in the league, but he can't do it.
Imagine this: DeMarcus Cousins and Curry on the same team, which happened already.
Okay, wait. Quick sidetrack. I know we're talking about the contenders. We'll be back to that in a second, but talking about Curry. So now with half the Golden State team back after being injured last year, how do you think that team's looking back? You think they have a big chance of doing something next year, especially with Steph Curry averaging more points than Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kelly Oubre combined?
Curry.
Yeah. Here, let me go first since you probably have more to say.
Alright.
I think definitely next year they're going to be probably the most like favored team to win right off the offseason, the championship. With Clay coming back, I mean, you know how great Clay is. You know, he might even be a Hall of Famer at this point. But Steph is just playing out of his mind. He's proving that he might even be the greatest point guard of all time. And they just added on Wiseman and Wiggins and all the others. So I think this year they'll do pretty good, but next year is going to be a crazy year.
So that's what I wanted to say. Actually, I wanted to say that this year, if Curry makes first team All NBA, he's undoubtedly the best point guard of all time. If he brings this team to the playoffs, first team All NBA, averaging the same points he is right now, it's not a question. It's not a question. He is proved over and over again by being a unanimous MVP, by winning without KD in 2015, by doing everything he has, that his point guard abilities are insane.
You think you would put him over Magic Johnson?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
I would put him over Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson wasn't even a real point guard. Magic Johnson was a center who they strategically put at point guard because he could run the floor. But that's not a real point guard. That's just a modern day forward playing the point guard position like LeBron. LeBron isn't a point guard, he's a forward. Everyone knows that. That's what Magic Johnson was. And so that's why I'm saying Stephen Curry is the best point guard of all time. He's over John Stockton. He's over an Allen Iverson, who is really a shooting guard. He's over all of them. He's proved his point to be the best.
I agree. I think he's already the best.
Interesting.
And let's go back to contenders.
Yeah.
Um,
My second question was, so now you said you're contenders.
Mhm.
What teams do you think are possible contenders? They're just missing one key player, and who is that?
the Heat, they need a star point guard like John Wall. That would be crazy if they got John Wall. other than the Heat, Dallas Mavericks. They also need a star point guard. Actually, you know what? No. They need a star forward. They can have Kristaps Porzingis at the 4, but they need someone to run that 5 who's better than Tim Hardaway Jr. and put Tim Hardaway Jr. at the 2. So the Dallas Mavericks, them, who else? Utah Jazz. I told them how they're a team player, but if they can get a star player, like, you know who would make their team better? If I'm just seeing like who was the guy on the market? Blake Griffin. Imagine if the Utah Jazz get Blake Griffin. Then, in my opinion, they are a contender team. In my opinion. And Blake Griffin wants to go to a contender. And honestly, an underdog this season, to me, the New York Knicks are the Heat, are what the Heat was last year. To me, that's what they
With
are.
Derrick Rose also
Yeah,
just being added, which is pretty crazy. You think he's gonna win comeback player of the year?
they don't have that in the NBA, but sure, bro.
Why don't they have
Yeah.
that? Or
Why?
most improved player? That's not it.
I want to hear your two predictions for the finals. Winners, how many games they go to. So I want to hear your two scenarios.
Okay, I have obviously the most obvious one, which is most probable, but NBA is never probable. Lakers versus Nets. I got that going up to 6, and I have actually, you know what? 7. 7. It's hard to choose between. Lakers win.
Okay.
My other possibility is the Nets are winning the East. If that's obvious. So Nets versus the Lakers lose, and somehow the Clippers don't choke this time. That's what I see maybe. So Clippers versus Nets, and in that case, the Nets win in 5 games.
Okay. And the other thing I want to ask you, out of the teams that went to the playoffs last year, what teams that lost you think can make it this year, and what teams do you think that got further? Do you think there's some teams like did really well in the playoffs last year that are not even going to make it or do a lot worse? So
Well, the Dallas Mavericks are currently not in the playoff picture, nor are the Houston Rockets, which is very disturbing. Neither are the Heat, and nor actually, you know what? The 2 teams that I see improved the most into getting the playoff picture was the Atlanta Hawks. Actually, 3 teams: Atlanta Hawks, Golden State Warriors, and the New York Knicks. Those are the 3 big risers that I see this season. And also the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans are going to make some noise. They're going to be an 8th or 7th seed who really gives some trouble to one of the top seeds. You know what would be a really good matchup?
and
I would kill for the Jazz versus Pelicans in the playoffs. That would be an amazing matchup.
I'm gonna name you the last year's playoffs teams, and you're gonna tell me how do you think they improved? If they're gonna do better this year's playoffs, not even gonna make it, or you think they're gonna do worse, right?
Okay.
So Milwaukee, do you think they're gonna
They're making it,
climb to the
and they're
semis?
going to do the same. They're going to lose in
Lose
the
in the semis?
semifinals. Yeah.
Orlando.
They're not going to make it. Markel Fultz got injured. Vucevic is he's a really great player, but he can't carry his team over all the other star players with the pieces he has.
So you think Orlando out of the playoffs this year?
He's out of the playoff. Yeah,
Pacers.
they're in the playoffs. They're going to be a lower seed than what they are now. They've always been a good all-around team, but it's always because their schedule is easy.
Miami. You see them not going. They went to the finals last year. You see
I
them
know.
dropping down.
It's hard to say with Miami. They're my favorite team, but trying to keep
Even
bias
though-
out of the question, they might not make it.
Okay. Philadelphia.
They're gonna make it. I think they lose in the first round. They're gonna get
Wow.
upsetted. Yeah.
Toronto.
Also gonna get upsetted. They're gonna make it. They're gonna get upsetted.
Noah, you got any insight on these?
I think Noah's frozen.
I don't even know. Wait, what? I'm frozen?
No, you're good.
Nets.
No.
You say to the finals. Same thing with the Lakers. You say those two going into the finals this year.
Lakers sweep the whole playoffs. 4-0 finals.
Damn. So you're saying Nets are just gonna improve from literally out in the first round to Toronto to just going to the finals. So that's one of your predictions. Same thing with
Toronto
Luke.
misses the playoffs.
Okay. What about Portland?
What'd you say?
Portland finals. Portland finals.
I
bro.
agree. Portland.
Okay.
No. Honestly, in all honesty, Portland is making the Western Conference Finals. I'm just saying
So
they're gonna do it.
okay. So from being out from the first round to going to the Western Conference,
Obviously, it's a
Rockets.
definite answer.
Rockets they did pretty decent last year in the playoffs.
Rockets
Won-
winning it.
I agree. Rockets, they're gonna win the NFL. It's gonna be amazing.
Okay, no, actually, yo. So Rockets last
Okay,
year.
Rockets. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna sweep the Clippers and then get swept by
LeBron.
the Lakers.
I agree.
Okay.
The
Alright,
Clippers
Zook.
suck. The Clippers are not making the playoffs. Kawhi Leonard is gonna dunk and then break his ankle in like
Okay.
32 hours.
So, Zook, you think? So Zook, you think Portland's making playoffs?
I think Dame wins MVP, Most Improved Player, Rookie of the Year, and Defensive Player of the Year. To be honest.
Actually, bro.
Yeah, actually, like
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
out.
he's gonna win every single thing. Okay.
All right, fine. Maybe he won't win.
LeBron,
Rookie.
most improved player of the year, bro. But after last year, bro, terrible season.
Garbage.
Now
Garbage.
he is MVP potential. You know, choo choo on the LeBron train.
He might be able to win a game or two. Okay. So, Zook.
Hey, yo, hold on. Honestly, LaMelo Ball, most improved player. That's what I got. Bro.
Wow, true. You know, last year he was dead.
Okay. Great
Bro,
statements. Great
You
quotes
can't
here.
deny it. He went from college to the NBA. That is just so improved.
Bro, he went from D1 to D0, bro. Like,
Look at this guy, man. He's inspirational. He is inspirational. You know what? Coach of the year, Randy Moss.
Okay. Back to the actual topic. Let's just finish this off.
dude, coach of the year, Coach Farley.
You think
Trust.
you see the Celtics get into the semis?
Man, if
for
the NBA had
conference?
comeback player of the year, you know who would win it this year?
Oh my
Aaron
God.
Hernandez.
Okay, that's a killer joke.
Ew, that was the killer joke. Yeah, that was a killer joke. Woo.
So, Duke, honestly, you see Boston getting past the conference finals this year?
No, Boston's gonna get removed from the league. They're gonna move to Canada.
Okay.
Dude,
Can we like actually get back on
they get
track?
removed. No, dude. Basically, what happens to the Celtics? They're gonna deflate gate the basketballs. All right, no, but listen, because like New England, Boston, same thing.
Wait, hear me out.
And
Hear me out.
Bill Belichick is going to dunk on DeAndre Jordan,
Wait.
the starting center of the Nets.
Bill Belichick and Bill Russell married, and they take
So Belichick is a wife.
Boston. like-
Esposa.
What if they take Boston to like Mexico, and then they become like
Okay.
the Mexican cartels, and then like Bill
New
Russell.
professional sport teams go missing. Mexico's
No,
always
because
one.
Bill Russell will become a drug dealer, and
Okay, this is just turning racist, dude.
and Bill Belichick will become like
Okay,
an assassin. Think about it. Bill Belichick, an
Okay.
assassin?
No, you're editing this part out. I hope you know this is just becoming racist.
Oh no, I'm not. Racism. Listen,
You
Black
wanna
Lives
finish that
Matter.
sentence? You want to finish the sentence?
Black
Okay.
Lives Matter.
Let's get back
White
on
lives
track.
don't matter.
Okay, let's get back on
I think
track.
Aaron Hernandez agreed.
Let's
True.
keep going. So, Zook, with the Celtics,
Mhm.
they made it to a conference championship last year.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna make it back there this year? Do you left? Do you think they're making finals?
Nah, they're gonna be like the 0 seed. They're gonna be so good that like they don't go into the playoffs.
Okay, stop the recording.
You know what, man? Honestly, my opinion on the Boston Celtics, I don't know. Like, what even is Boston? Like a port town?
Dude, honestly, Boston is just a myth. Like,
Dude,
listen.
if you think about it,
Boston. Wait. No, hold on. You can't do this to me, right? Right. The Charlotte Bobcats, right? They were removed from the league, right? That was just a disguise. They are now the Boston Bobcats. You see, BB.
Boston Bomber. Not severely beaten.
Yo, who is that?
It's the Boston Bomber.
Bait.
Dude, what? Dude,
Yo, the Boston Bomber plays for the Boston Celtics. Yo, they just picked him up in free agency. It's gonna be crazy.
Hold on, excuse me. a moment.
Okay, no, I hope you're editing this last segment out.
No, hear me out. Hear me out. Portland, it's a port, right? It's Portland. Portland. You have Portland.
Okay, on to NFL.
You have
We're done with this.
Sexland, and you have like Portland Sexland. But what happens when you make sex with a port? Syphilis. So that's why I think the COVID virus is actually syphilis in disguise.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
damn.
so Noah, you're editing that last part out about like this whole last segment, make it look a little natural. So let's just act like we're talking about Zook. Turn that off. Whatever that is. That's
Sorry.
some pretty cool
That's not
comment.
me. That's fucking Noah's like antivirus or
Okay,
some shit.
Zook, I'm just gonna ask you a question about the. I'm just gonna say, the last question I want to ask you is about the Celtics. You're just
What?
gonna give your opinion on the Celtics, and then we're gonna move on to football.
Got you. All right. I want to give my opinion on the Celtics, everyone. The Celtics. All right, look.
Zook, you're ear raping.
I know.
Okay, no, Zook, let's actually do this because I actually have to do
This-
like math.
This is the Celtics. This remote is the Celtics. They are here. They're at the top. But you know what's going to happen? They're going to drop. That's them. They're broken. They're done. Jason Tatum, he's like white or black. He cannot make up his mind. He cannot play basketball. If he can't make up his mind whether he's black or white, he cannot play basketball. Taco Fall is like black. He knows what he's doing. He should be replacing Jason Tatum in the starting role. Jaylen Brown, he's Muslim. He can't play. He has to go back.
You guys like my clown music?
I like it. I like it.
Look at Taco Fall. Looks great.
Why is he doing the hentai pose?
Okay, no, this is all getting it out. Okay, Zook, can we actually just make a small transition so we can get into football, like actual one?
All right, ready? I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna